All right, we're at the home of Mr. and Mrs. Pedersen. We're looking at doing some Hardie plank siding. We have some vertical right now, and we're looking at going back with a 8¼ inch Cedar Mill Select. Starting here on the left side, there's been some repair work that's been done. So in order to do this correctly and make sure we're not facing any kind of water infiltration down the road, definitely a complete tear off is recommended, just to make sure that we have a tight seal on everywhere. With all these joints, we certainly don't want to leave those open seams that have obviously gotten some exposure. So basically talking about taking everything off, resheathing the wall with a 7/16 inch OSB, doing our Tyvek, our seam tape, our flashing, and then coming over the top with the Hardie trim and Hardie siding. Now on the left side here, we do have these two shuttered windows. They're just dummy windows. But basically those will be closed over. You can see the other one kind of behind the tree there. Both of these will be closed over, and we'll just side like a flush wall. So that's kind of the left side scope of work here. We have some soffit. It's only a 6-inch soffit. We do need the ventilation there. There's a big old gable vent in back, so we do need to promote that circulation. But there's only very little, and it's only a 6-inch, so not a big deal with the soffit. We would be doing a fascia overlay. It's a 6-inch fascia with a 1x2 drip on it, so 4-inch net fascia, and we would be replacing drip edge. So that would be our scope of work on soffit and fascia. Coming around the front, all this half-round shingle, we're going to get rid of that and clean it up. We will keep the shutters on the front here, and the other pair of shutters on the front will stay. We do have this area here under the garage that basically we'll just consider porch ceiling, and that will all become Hardie plank. And then we have this little apron above the garage door that will also be faced with a Hardie 1x6. Garage door frame will be completely wrapped in Hardie plank. You can see there's been some repairs and some patches and some cracks existing in it right now. This side you can see. So we'll face all that garage door frame with the Hardie plank siding, just so we have a consistent wear against the rest of the house. Ooh, that's coming over here to the front basically. Again, more repair work here. This all needs to come off, obviously. The half round, we're getting rid of that. You can see the repairs that have been done up there. Again, just so we have good integrity behind the Hardie, we need to take all that off, resheathe the wall, Tyvek, seam tape, flashing, and then go with our Hardie from there. Here again, you can see a 6-inch soffit up top there. Not a big deal at all. Some of it is falling down. It is in pretty rough shape, so definitely recommended to get that with Hardie. You can see this corner right there, the fascia, that's pretty bad, so that's going to need to be repaired before we do our fascia overlay. Here we have a little small gable above these two windows. All windows and doors will be wrapped in the Hardie plank 1x4. We won't do any combination of siding and trim or pressure treated lumber. We'll do everything with a Hardie 1x4, 1x2, whatever the case. We will have to R&R the storm door to properly retrim that front door in Hardie 1x4, and then we'll reattach the storm. Here you can see, just as on the front top gable here, there's no soffit. So again, I have it notated in my spec sheet where soffit is, where it's not. Where it's not a 6-inch soffit, everywhere else is just fascia overlay and drip edge. Which you can see is on this little gable here. These are the other pair of shutters here that we will use. We'll paint them and reattach them after we get done with the Hardie. On this lower gable here, obviously we have some rot kind of peeking through there. Again, fascia overlay and drip edge, no soffit. Again, all this will come off, resheathed with 7/16 inch OSB, and then continue with the Hardie. Alright, now on our chimney here, it's got a little chimney, a little 2x2. Got wasps flying at me right now as we speak. They're living, right in this bottom corner here. They're making a little home where the trim is cracked, right where it dies into the shingle line. So definitely, you can see them flying around. Definitely need to address that and close that up so there's no further problems there. Here we'll just have to pull this gate away from the siding. Not a big deal. This light fixture is no longer usable, so that can come down. You can see more of the repair work where we need to just start over and get a good substrate behind there so we have a flush, good sealed system behind the Hardie plank. There's our gable vent, so that'll be treated just like a window, and we'll retrim that in Hardie 1x4, flash it, seal it, the whole 9 yards. We got a twin set of windows right here and then a single over here. You can see the trim is really compromised, so that'll be good to get some Hardie plank on that, have it all flashed and sealed and done correctly. Wherever we have siding dying into the ground, which is pretty much everywhere because it's floor-to-ceiling siding, we're going to C-channel flash that substrate behind the board, behind the Hardie board, to make sure that we don't have any water exposure running up the wall. So that will all be done anywhere that we have the siding coming down to the ground, which is basically on all 3 sides, and then some along the front porch, the line there. So that will all be done to make sure that that's correctly installed. Again, up here on this top gable, we have fascia overlay and drip edge, but no soffit. Down here on this vertical run, we have fascia overlay, drip edge, and a 6-inch soffit. So that's all accounted for in our proposal. Again, over in this corner with the gate, that's going to have to be pulled away a little bit just so we can side behind there and get that done correctly. All corner trim, we have a lot of corner trim obviously, that will all be 1x4s in the Hardie plank right there. All chimney trim and capping will all be 1x4 Hardie. Again, so there's no combination of wood and Hardie. This is all going to be Hardie plank. Entire exterior of the home will then become maintenance free. It'll all weather and last accordingly, so you're not going to have any repair work down the road. So that's pretty much what we got, what we're looking at for our scope of work. Mr. and Mrs. Pedersen, we really appreciate you having us over and considering us for the project, and we look forward to working with you. Thank you.